film that you are about to see is of Elvis Presley, relatives and friends, during the summer of 1956.
Can you, in your own words, Elvis, tell us why you think you are the big success that you are?
No, I can't think of anything.
This is the boy that's probably the hottest show business personality in the last 25 years.
Gorgeous, to say the least.
He was just the best looking thing I had ever seen in my life. 1955. He was already pretty big in the southern states. And he was appearing at the Airmen's Club at Keesler Air Force Base in Biloxi. Then he took a break from singing, so I just glanced his way because we had made eye contact a few times. He just made his way through these people. As we were passing by, he reached through the crowd and grabbed me by the arm. He said, well, when I get through playing, how about you stick around for a little while and show me the town? And I didn't even kiss anyone on the first date. And I don't know why I couldn't resist kissing Elvis Presley on the first date, but I just could not resist.
He wanted to take me with him that very night. And he wanted to go in and wake my mother up and say, June is going to come with me.
This one friend, about 10 months after I had first met Elvis, she decides to take a vacation in '56. I didn't really know that the reason she wanted to go to Memphis was because Elvis lived in Memphis. I didn't really tell anyone I had ever gone out with Elvis. So we drove over to Audubon Drive, and the pink Cadillac drives in the driveway, and it was Elvis and his mother and father. He said, what are you doing here, June? He had tried to call me, and I was never home, but my heart was in my throat then, you know, because he had already done lots of big things and whatever. And then the following morning he picked me up and we went motorcycle riding, and he said he had a vacation coming up and he would be down in Biloxi. Beep, beep, beep. That was it. And so sure enough, Elvis arrived in Biloxi. We had stayed in touch by phone. I wasn't home, but when he drove up in front of my house, I lived pretty close to Sacred Heart Girls High School. And all these girls were piled up in my front yard, big welcoming committee, but I was nowhere in sight. I didn't really know when he was coming in. And he got really mad with me because he thought I told everyone he was coming. And I said, Elvis, you drive into town on a Tennessee license tag, and you think I told everyone you was coming, you know? So he was registered at the Sun and Sand Hotel under the name of Arthur Hooten, one of his buddies' names. It wasn't one he made up. He used to use it when he checked into different places. And to call and ask for Arthur Hooten. So I did that, and Elvis answered the phone, and so then we drove down to Sun and Sand.
How long have you been on vacation?
So about a month. I'm off for about 3 more weeks.
Well, Elvis, we wish you lots and lots of good luck in your continued meteoric rise to stardom, which has been so phenomenal during the past couple of months.
My mother's boyfriend that she was dating at the time
Wanted to do something so that he could spend some time with Elvis, mainly because he was impressed with Elvis as a gentleman. He liked Elvis because he respected his mother and father. Everything he said was yes, sir, and no, ma'am, and thank you, and please. Eddie had not really kept up with Elvis's career or anything like that. He liked him as a young man.
So he invited him to go on a fishing trip. He said, I'll take care of everything.
We left Barrow Sales Pier Thursday morning and had a very successful fishing trip off the Biloxi coast.
And he said that was the first trip he had ever been on as far as deep sea fishing or any kind of fishing.
He made all the arrangements, brought all the food, not one beer on the boat, because he asked Elvis, what would you like to drink? And he said Coca-Cola, root beer. He fell in love with Barks root beer.
Elvis didn't want any alcohol, and we didn't have not even a beer on the boat. And I was pretty thirsty, and so was my friend, the captain that owned the boat. And I was talking with him on the side, and I happened to say, boy, wouldn't a cold beer go real good right now? And he said, it definitely would. Elvis overheard me, and he came up to me, he said, Mr. Bellman, he said, you could have brought beer for you and your friend, but I didn't want any for my friends, myself.
When you go out on the boat, you usually come across a shrimp boat that you swap a 6-pack of beer for a bucket of chum. So we had no beer to swap for chum when we came across the boat, so I think he gave the man a $10 bill for a bucket of chum. If you're not familiar with what chum is trash fish. They throw away the old fish that they bring in and save just the shrimp.
This is Elvis there checking the catch of the small fish that we were going to use for bait.
We use the trash fish to draw the other fish in.
As a friend of Elvis, most of the things that he did was sleep. There's Elvis and June. And there's June's mother and June and Elvis.
Oh, I thought he was a well-bred boy, and I liked him right off the start. I liked Elvis because he wasn't loud. He didn't use any foul language, and he was just a fine, well-cut man. I really thought the world of him.
We caught a nice variety of fish. We caught bonita, dolphin, shark, and king mackerel.
Lots of sharks, Jack Crevalle, they weigh in like 60 pounds. We caught some ling or lemon fish.
It was something new to him because he never had been deep sea fishing before.
That stick is a boom on top of the boat, and it looked like a giant microphone. He was just standing up there and he saw this big thing, started pretending he was singing to this tall mic. It was funny. Elvis was funny.
We got away from the fishing crowd and went to spend some alone time on top of the boat. But Elvis was getting so sunburned, he should have never got on the top of the boat, no shade.
On the way back to Biloxi, Elvis asked if I could arrange to get the boat again. So I asked my friend, the captain, he said, yes, we can arrange it.
He said, I want to take my parents. Well, that's all Mr. Bellman had to hear. He said, my daddy will love this. And he says, my mom will probably like it too, but I know my daddy